Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's public forum. I declare the public forum open at 6:02 p.m. I will start with the acknowledgement of country. I would like to acknowledge the Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of all lands, waters and sky in the Georges River area. I pay my respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who live, work and meet on these lands. Apologies. I have an apology from Councillor Demosky, and I also have a request to join via audiovisual link from Councillor Stratokopoulos. Notice of live streaming of the council meeting. Staff and public are reminded that this public forum is being recorded for minute-taking purposes and is also being broadcast live to the public on Council's website in accordance with Section 5 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice. The recording will be made available on Council's website. Public participation on items on the agenda. There are 8 speakers registered for tonight's public forum. I would remind the speakers that speakers have a 3-minute time limit. The first hit sound you hear indicates you have 1 minute remaining, and at the second sound, please conclude your comments. Our first speaker is a written submission from Eleni Komenos on CCL 03026 ASS 021 26 LTF 03926. So that is the report of the Assets and Infrastructure Committee meeting for the Burgess Street and Targa Road intersection, proposed intersection changes. If Ms McKinley could please read the submission.
I'm writing to express my strong support for the proposed changes to the Burgess Street and Targo Road intersection. This intersection has long been a source of confusion for drivers, particularly due to the lack of a clearly defined right-of-way. As a result, vehicles often hesitate or proceed inconsistently, increasing the risk of near misses and potential collisions. While many residents approach the area cautiously, the current layout relies too heavily on driver judgment rather than clear guidance. Traffic volumes in this area have increased over the past year, largely due to diversions and drivers using this route as a shortcut from Ramsgate Road to Rocky Point Road to avoid traffic lights. This has further intensified the risks at an already unclear intersection. The introduction of clear right-of-way rules and appropriate signage line marking will provide much needed certainty for drivers, improve traffic flow and significantly enhance safety for both drivers and pedestrians. I commend our Mayor, Council and traffic engineers for taking proactive and practical steps to address this issue. These changes represent an important investment in the safety and functionality of our local road network. I strongly support the proposed intersection improvements and encourage their timely implementation. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Ms McKinley. Our next speaker is Lihua Yuan in person, speaking on NM 02826. That is the Pecos West Public Swimming Pool. Just press the button on the right. Pecos West. Yes, public swimming pool. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, General Manager and councillors for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to support Councillor Nancy Liu's motion regarding Pecos West Swimming Pool. For more than 60 years, this pool has been built around community access, volunteers, local clubs, and affordable swimming lessons. That legacy should not be lost to commercialization. My family has been coming to this pool for over 15 years. It's not just another pool. It's a unique indoor 25-meter pool with a deeper end where children learn confidence, discipline, and important life skills. Both of my children learned to swim here through different clubs and swim schools. At one stage, my younger son was a member of Pence's RCL Youth Swim Club, Pecos Amateur Swim Club, and Rose Swim School at the same time. Over time, I joined the committee of Pence's RCL Youth Swim Club. I saw firsthand what these community groups provide. In community clubs, young swimmers grow up together and become swim teachers and volunteers. They gain qualifications, leadership skills, responsibility, and confidence. That community pathway exists because these clubs are supported and affordable. That is the real value of this pool. Now we are being told the pool may be shallowed into a leisure pool because it's more profitable that way. we are being told that commercial interests will take priority over existing community learn to swim groups, with all current groups gradually losing lane access. Many families fear that over time, the independent clubs and affordable programs that have existed for decades will disappear. We are also concerned about rising costs for families and spectators. The character of the pool is changing from a community facility into a commercial business model. Most importantly, we risk losing the volunteer culture that has sustained this place for generations. During National Volunteer Week starting today, that is especially disappointing. I understand Council does not have the final say in this matter, but this motion still matters. It shows that Council values the pool community legacy and does not support changes that undermine it. History should not record that this pool was commercialized with Council's silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wan. Our next speaker is John N. Thomas in person, speaking on NM 02826, also the Peakhurst West Public Swimming Pool.
Thank you for the time to come and address you tonight. I was going to ask a question, but looking around the room, I think it'd be a bit redundant. That question, I will ask it. What were most of you doing 70 years ago? Most of you weren't even here or weren't even thought about. About 70 years ago, this pool was designed and conceived by the community. The community were going around the streets for years, 3 or 4 years, collecting 5 cents or 6pence from each house to fund a community pool. I notice your magazine downstairs says community. You're going to hear community a little bit during my talk. The community built and operated this facility for something like 68 years or 65 years or thereabouts. Pre the Herstal Aquatic Centre, the Peakhurst West Pool was the only commercially available pool in the Hurstville as it was then, LGA. It provided learn to swim and swimming club for this community since 1960. The cost to operate this pool came from the community. It was operated by the community. The cost to operate the pool were managed or were contained because the community worked on the pool. Any work that needed to be done was done by the community, thereby saving money. That money went back into the pool, and in the 1970s, the pool was extended to, or was covered in and heated. After that, a cooperative was formed to operate and manage the pool, which happened until around 2018 when the cooperative was removed from the management of the pool. The current proposal calls for a number of things. One of those is the reduction in depth of the deep end of the pool to 1.4 metres. Once you do that to this pool, you have lost that pool as a community asset and as a legitimate, viable swimming or competitive swimming pool. Life isn't 1.4 metres deep. The department email to users states that existing users will have first option to continue with their existing booking times. A department email says also that the lessee will contact users to organise their times going forward. The lessee has subsequently emailed the community and said there is no guarantee that your future booking and times will be there. We will work to allow reasonable access. They also say that the rates will definitely change to be more in line with commercial activities. No changes in this pool should be made, I believe, until community issues, particularly issues of access, charges, and the changing of the depth are fully resolved. You can't unscramble these eggs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Our next speaker is Akash Goya. It's a written submission on NM 02926, Beverly Hills Master Plan.
My name is Dr. Akash Goyal. I'm a local GP at the Beverly Hills Family Medical Centre. As a father of 2 children myself, my diagnosis tonight is rooted in my daily interactions with our community. I see firsthand the severe toll that the housing crisis and the stagnating local environment take on young families and our essential workers. I also have a literal front row seat to the planning paralysis we are discussing tonight. My practice at 16 to 18 Beresford Avenue sits right in the heart of the town centre, directly adjacent to the massive 1.6 hectare footprint of the State Accessory Zoning Proposal, or SARP, on King George's Road. Our community desperately needs homes, and the state government is already assessing the cure. The SARP alone proposes to deliver between 500 and 777 new dwellings, encompassing up to 59,380 square metres of residential floor space. This isn't just a concept, it is an active, safe, assessed pathway. Furthermore, just down the street from my clinic, there is an active state significant development application at the former cinema site at 447 to 453 King George's Road. That project alone proposes an additional 90 to 100 residential dwellings and over 1,000 square metres of commercial space, and has already been formally declared a state significant development by the Minister. Because the state government already maintains overarching control of the vast majority of our area's housing targets through these state-led pathways, Council's continued interference will only guarantee the fragmented, siloed development that our community fears. You cannot treat half a patient and expect a full recovery. If Council attempts to overlay a disjointed local plan onto these massive state-assessed precincts, the result will be a disjointed, uncoordinated suburb. The state is already stepping in to provide the medicine this suburb needs to survive. Passing this notice of motion is the only logical step to ensure a holistic, coordinated recovery for Beverly Hills. Thank you for your consideration in this matter.
Thank you, Ms McKinley. Our next speaker is also a written submission, Dr. George S.K. Hahn on NM 02926, also the Beverly Hills Master Plan.
Good evening, councillors. My name is Dr. George Hahn. I recently retired after 3 decades of dedicated medical service as a family GP right here in Beverly Hills. Over those 30 years, my philosophy was to care for my patients from cradle to grave, and I have had the great privilege of treating 4 generations of local families. Having run my solo practice at 488 King George's Road and 20 Norfolk Avenue for the past 32 years, I know the people of this suburb intimately. Many of my patients became like family to me. Because of this deep connection, I know that you can directly measure the health of a community by the health and vitality of the town centre. I stand before you to back Dr. Bowles' terminal diagnosis. I've watched the visible symptoms of this town centre's disease worsen year after year. We have seen the cessation of trading for at least 9 local businesses and a growing, depressing number of idle vacancies. When local shops close, the vibrant daily interactions that sustain our community's mental health disappear. The heart of Beverly Hills is losing its pulse. This is not just an economic issue, it is a public health issue. A stagnating town centre severely damages community well-being, increases stress for local families, and tears at the social fabric of the neighbourhood I have spent my life treating. The endless bureaucratic delays in the master plan are actively accelerating this decline. Instead of decisive action to revive the area, we have seen an endless cycle of proposals, obstruction, and retreat. I am dedicating my retirement to advocating for this suburb because our residents simply deserve better than a town centre that has already entered a terminal phase. The current planning paralysis is failing our families. I urge you to recognise the human cost of this stagnation. Please support Councillor Wang's motion to transfer planning authority to the state so that our community can finally heal and thrive. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms McKinley. Our next speaker is Dr. Ben Bowser. He is joining us remotely, speaking on NM 02926, the Beverly Hills Master Plan. Just wait for Dr. Bowser to be connected. It's trying to call but not answering. Okay, we'll come back to Dr. Bowser if we can. Our next speaker is Adrian Polhill. He's also joining remotely. He's speaking on NM03026, which is the poisoning of trees at Boundary Road Reserve, Peakhurst. Just see if we can connect to Mr. Polhill.
Good evening.
Is that you, Mr. Polhill? This is Mayor Elise Gordon.
Yeah, Elise, yes.
Mr. Polhill, you have 3 minutes to speak on NM03026, the poisoning of trees at Boundary Road Reserve, Peakhurst. You are connected to the meeting. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Elise. Good evening, everybody. The deliberate poisoning of critically endangered turpentine trees at Boundary Reserve is a shocking act of environmental vandalism, which has severely impacted our local biodiversity. These trees, as you all know, were a vital community, part of our vital community and council assets, as well as being a critical part of the local ecosystem, which has now been destroyed. Actually may take 20, maybe 50 years to recover. These trees can no longer contribute to our ever-shrinking tree canopy, as well as no longer drawing down significant volumes of carbon dioxide. So I put it to you that this crime cannot go unpunished. So to deter future devastation, I urge the council to immediately act on every measure outlined in Councillor Peter Marnie's motion. Just one important action is to request that the local police mount a rigorous criminal investigation. Time is up. The people who caused this damage must be brought to account. In addition, council should launch a very high visibility public media campaign to expose this crime and perhaps therefore deter others in the future. Looking ahead, council bears the responsibility now to regenerate this landscape by replanting it with native species from the same endangered ecological community to actively restore what has been lost. Finally, to ensure history is not repeated, I urge council staff to include every turpentine tree in the LGA in our parks, reserves and gardens, in parks, reserves and streets, enter those immediately into the significant tree register to add another level of protection for these invaluable environmental assets. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, councillors, and thank you, staff. Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Polhill. Our next speaker is Marie Morgan, speaking on the same item, NM03026, poisoning of trees at Boundary Road Reserve, Peakhurst.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. Just following on from what Adrian has said, I represent Oatley Flora and Fauna Society, and we're very concerned about the deliberate vandalism of the trees in the reserve and ask that council takes immediate action and that they liaise with the local police to investigate who's responsible for the vandalism of those trees. That's beautiful reserve with some remnant bushland and very important tree canopy, which, as you know, is very important for our area. The flora and the fauna of our local council area is something that we all value and our community values as well. So I hope that you take this into consideration at your next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Morgan. If we could just go back and try Dr. Ben Balzer once more, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Dr. Balzer. This is Mayor Elise Borg. You have 3 minutes
Yes.
to speak on item NM02926, the Beverly Hills Master Plan. Please go ahead. You're connected to the meeting.
Thank you, Mayor and Councillors. My name is Dr. Ben Balzer. I'm a local general practitioner and a dedicated advocate for our community. I'm here tonight to speak in strong support of Councillor Ben Wang's notice of motion to hand the Beverly Hills Master Plan over to the state government. From a medical perspective, the diagnosis for the Beverly Hills Town Centre is grim. It is currently in the ICU. It's suffering from a terminal disease of planning paralysis. This endless cycle of bureaucratic red tape and moving targets has acted like a cancer on our town centre, aggressively eating away at the local economy and leading to severe stagnation and closure of businesses. The community is deeply concerned about Council's decade-long neglect and the shifting justifications used to block renewal. The most egregious symptom of this paralysis is the Council's reliance on manufactured environmental risks to stall housing. GRC's response to the movement of the Sydney gas pipeline risk is entirely overstated. The pipeline was empty for 3 years and then it's been repurposed from ethane to natural gas, and the updated hazard analysis confirms that the societal risk is firmly in the negligible zone. The risk assessment provided to the DPHI showed even lower risk, if that's possible. Yet Council continues to push for restrictive 200-metre buffer zones to block sensitive development. This approach creates unnecessary alarm and administrative burden without any evidence of increased risk, acting as a convenient pretext for further bureaucratic delays. Look at the sheer economic magnitude of the cure you're obstructing. The state assessed rezoning proposal, SARP, at 407 to 511 King George's Road is a massive $400 million urban renewal initiative. It comprises 52 consecutive allotments across our entire 1.6 hectare Western Commercial Core. This state-assessed project proposes up to 14,000 square metres of new retail and commercial floor space. Furthermore, it is projected to generate over 500 permanent operational jobs that our economy, local economy, desperately needs to survive. And it will provide increased revenues to the council with increased rates once the project is finished. When a patient is in the ICU, you do not delay life-saving treatment to commission more administrative reports. You act. With a suburb in the ICU, passing Councillor Wang's motion to hand control to the Department of Planning, Housing and Infrastructure is the only way to surgically remove these bottlenecks and save our town centre. Please help save us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balzer.
Thank you. Good night.
That concludes our public forum for this evening. So I will declare the public forum closed at 6:26 p.m. Thank you to members of the public for your contribution and your attendance tonight. The council meeting will be next Monday, starting at 7 o'clock here in this room, where the councillors will decide on the items that you've spoken on tonight. Thank you.